16, the first time my parents left me home alone overnight. We lived in a small town in Ohio, quiet neighborhood. Nothing unusual ever happened there. My mom gave me the usual speech before leaving. Lock the doors, don't open for strangers, call us if anything happens. I laughed it off. Around midnight, I was on the couch watching TV when I heard it. A faint scratching sound at the back door. At first, I thought it was our dog, but then I remembered we didn't have a dog. The sound grew louder, deliberate, like nails dragging across wood. I turned off the TV and sat frozen, listening. Then came the whisper. Let me in. It was soft, almost childlike, but it came from just beyond the door. My heart raced. I grabbed my phone but realized I had no signal. Storms had been messing with service all day. The whisper came again, longer this time. Please, let me in. I crept toward the kitchen window that looked out at the back porch. I pulled the curtain aside just an inch, and my stomach dropped. There was a man crouched at the door, his fingernails pressed against the wood. His head was tilted back unnaturally, like his neck was broken, but his lips were moving in slow, exaggerated words. Let me in. I stumbled back, knocking a pan off the counter. The noise must have alerted him because suddenly he snapped his head toward the window. His eyes were pure white. I ran upstairs, locked myself in my room, and dialed 911 over Wi-Fi. By the time deputies arrived, the man was gone, but deep scratches remained all over the back door. For weeks after, I couldn't sleep without hearing that whisper echo in my head. Story 2. The face in the window. I was 15 when this happened. My parents went out for dinner, leaving me alone with my little brother. He fell asleep early, and I stayed up scrolling through my phone in the living room. At around 11 p.m., I heard a tap at the window behind me. I thought it was tree branches, but when I turned, I froze. A man's face was pressed against the glass, staring directly at me. He didn't move, didn't blink, just stood there with this sick grin spread across his face. I screamed and ran to my brother's room, locking the door behind me. I called my mom, panicked, but when she and my dad came home 20 minutes later, the man was gone. But here's the part that chills me the most. When my dad checked the window, he found smudges on the glass. Finger and palm prints, but they were on the inside. We moved a year later. I still don't know how that man got in or if he ever left. Story 3. The basement footsteps. When I was 17, my parents went on a weekend trip and left me alone in the house. The first night was fine. The second night changed me forever. At around 2 a.m., I woke up to what I thought were footsteps, slow, heavy, coming from the basement. I tried to convince myself it was the house creaking, but then I heard it again, the unmistakable sound of someone walking one step at a time beneath my floor. I grabbed a baseball bat and forced myself to check. The basement door was closed, but I could see light spilling out from underneath. We never left the basement light on. With shaking hands, I slowly opened the door. The basement was empty, silent. I walked down cautiously, scanning every corner, but nothing was there. Then from upstairs, I heard the floorboards creak. Someone was in my room. I bolted back up, only to find my bedroom door wide open, the bat I'd left by my bed gone. On the wall, scrawled in something dark and wet, were the words, "Thanks for letting me in." I stayed outside until my parents returned the next day. We changed the locks immediately, but to this day, I can't sleep without checking every corner of my room.